A poor waitress stopped for a soaked stranger on an empty road that night. She had no idea the shivering woman in the ruined gown was the world's biggest superstar. What happened the next morning nearly destroyed her. She was fired, humiliated in front of everyone, her dignity stripped away in seconds. But the stranger she saved was watching. And when that diner door swung open again, the manager who destroyed her world was about to face something he never saw coming. His arrogance, his cruelty, every moment of power he abused, all of it was about to explode in his face. And what happens next will leave you speechless. Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button. Your support means everything and helps us bring you more stories that restore your faith in humanity. Now, let's begin. The storm attacked without mercy that night. Rain didn't just fall, it hammered the windshield like it wanted to shatter the glass. Denise Carter's hands ached from gripping the wheel so tight. Denise's white pickup crawled through the downpour, wipers scraping desperately. She'd just finished 8 brutal hours at the diner. Her gray uniform stuck to her skin, damp from a customer's spilled drink hours ago. Her feet throbbed, her eyes burned. All she wanted was silence and sleep. Then the headlights caught her, a figure stumbling on the shoulder, no umbrella, no coat, just a dark shape fighting to stay upright in the storm. Denise's chest tightened, her brain screamed, "Keep driving." Her heart whispered, "Stop." She slowed down. The figure became clearer. A young woman, mid-20s, wearing what must have been a stunning evening gown once. Deep emerald green, the kind that screamed money. But now it clung to her like seaweed, torn at the shoulder, dragging in the mud. Her hair was plastered to her face in dark, chaotic streaks. Makeup ran down her cheeks in black rivers. She hugged herself, shivering so violently her knees buckled. Denise pulled over, rolled the window down. Rain misted her face instantly. "You okay?" The woman spun around. Her eyes were destroyed, swollen, drowning in tears and rain. She tried to speak, but only managed a broken gasp. Denise reached over and unlocked the passenger door. "Get in before you freeze to death." The woman hesitated. Stranger. Old truck. Empty highway. Every instinct should have screamed danger. But another violent shiver ripped through her and she stumbled forward, yanked the door open, and collapsed into the seat. Water pooled beneath her immediately. Denise cranked the heater. It sputtered pathetically, but finally hummed to life. Silence filled the cab. Just the engine and the rain's relentless assault. The woman finally whispered, voice wrecked. "Thank you?" Denise glanced at her. Something about her face tugged at memory, but the rain and destroyed makeup made it impossible to place. "What happened?" The woman stared at her trembling hands. "Someone I trusted left me on the side of the road. Took everything. My phone, my bag. Said I wasn't worth the trouble anymore." Denise's jaw tightened. "That's evil. That's business." The woman's voice cracked. At least that's what he called it. They drove in heavy silence. Minutes passed. Then the woman said quietly, almost to herself, 37 cars passed me. I counted. They slowed down, looked right at me, then drove away. Like I was invisible. Denise kept her eyes on the road. People see what's easy to see. The woman turned to her. "But you stopped." "Yeah," Denise shrugged. "Couldn't leave you drowning." Tears filled the woman's eyes again, but different this time. Not despair. Something else. Denise took her to her apartment, a tiny one-room box with peeling paint and a radiator that clicked more than it worked. She gave the woman her only towel, her only blanket, made her soup from a $1 packet. The woman sat on the couch, wrapped tight, staring at the steam like it was magic. "I don't even know your name," she whispered. "Denise." "I'm Sienna." Denise nodded. The name meant nothing. "Do you need me to call someone?" Sienna shook her head. "There's no one left." Denise sat across from her. "You look like a fighter." Sienna's lips trembled. "I was, once." "You still are. You just don't see it yet." When Sienna finally fell asleep, Denise sat by the window watching the rain soften to drizzle. Her reflection looked exhausted, but peaceful. She'd done the right thing. Before dawn, Denise slipped out quietly. The couch was empty when she glanced back. The blanket folded perfectly. A note rested on the table, elegant handwriting on a crumpled receipt. "You saw me when I was nobody. I'll never forget." As Denise smiled faintly, slipped the note into her pocket and stepped into the gray morning. The streets glistened. The air smelled like wet pavement. She didn't notice the black SUV parked 3 blocks away, engine idling, windows tinted dark. Inside, Sienna sat wrapped in a borrowed coat, phone pressed to her ear, eyes locked on Denise's retreating figure. "Find out where she works," Sienna said quietly. "And find out who owns the place." Her assistant hesitated. "What are you planning?" "Something I should have done a long time ago." Sienna's jaw set. "Find out everything." The SUV pulled away silently. Denise stood at the bus stop checking her phone. Rent was due in 4 days. Her account showed us 142. She needed every single shift this week, every tip, every hour. A text buzzed. Her manager, Steve, owner visiting today. "Don't be late, I mean it." She stared at the message. Steve had been on edge for weeks, snapping at everyone, cutting hours. Rumor was the owner was finally coming to evaluate the place, and Steve was terrified. Denise sighed, pocketed her phone. The bus pulled up, brakes hissing. She had no idea that in 3 hours her entire world would explode. Back in the SUV, Sienna scrolled through search results on her phone. Photos of a small diner on the edge of town. Riverside Diner. Owner, Montgomery Holdings, LLC. She tapped the screen, made another call. "I want to buy it," she said calmly. "Today, whatever it costs." Her lawyer's voice crackled through. "Sienna, you can't just—" "Today," she repeated. "Make it happen." She hung up, stared out at the rain-slicked city. Someone had seen her, really seen her, when the whole world had looked away, and she was about to return that gift. The diner was chaos when Denise burst through the door, 12 minutes late. Her shoes squeaked on the floor, hair damp, breathing hard from sprinting up the hill. Steve stood behind the counter like a statue of rage, arms crossed, face carved from stone. "Carter?" His voice cut through the noise like a gunshot. Every conversation stopped, every head turned. Denise froze. "Mr. Harlow, I'm so sorry. The bus was late and—" "Stop." He slammed his hand on the counter, a coffee cup rattled. "Owner's coming in 1 hour, 1, and you walk in late like it's nothing?" The cook froze at the grill. The other waitress held her breath. Denise stepped forward, voice steady despite her racing heart. "I helped someone last night. A woman stranded in the storm. I had to make sure she was safe. I couldn't just— The only mistake was keeping you this long." Steve snatched the apron from her hands. "Now get out before you embarrass yourself more." A few customers looked down at their plates, ashamed. Denise walked toward the door, her spine straight, her head up, refusing to give him the satisfaction of seeing her break. The bell above the door chimed as she stepped outside. Behind her, Steve turned to the staff with a triumphant smirk. "Anyone else want to test me today?" No one spoke. He straightened his tie, checking his reflection in the chrome napkin holder. "Perfect. Now we look professional for once." Outside, Denise stood on the sidewalk. The drizzle touched her face like cold fingers. She pulled her coat tighter and started walking. She didn't see the black SUV pulling into the lot, didn't see Sienna stepping out, phone in hand, eyes hidden behind dark sunglasses, didn't see the storm that was about to break over Steve's head. At exactly 11:58, the diner door opened. The bell chimed. A woman stepped inside. The room fell silent instantly, tall, elegant, wearing a tailored black coat, designer boots, and an aura that sucked the oxygen from the air. Someone gasped, then someone else choked on their coffee. "Oh my God," a teenager whispered, fumbling for her phone. "That's Sienna Vale." The Sienna Vale, Grammy winner, platinum albums, sold-out world tours, the face on every billboard from New York to Tokyo. Steve's jaw dropped. Then he scrambled forward, smile exploding across his face. "Miss Vale, this is— what an incredible honor. Please, our best booth. Anything you— Where's Denise Carter?" Her voice was quiet, but it cut like a blade. Steve blinked. "I'm sorry?" "Denise Carter, the waitress. Where is she?" Steve's smile flickered. "Oh, her. I had to let her go this morning. She was late, unreliable, not the kind of—" "You fired her?" "Yes, ma'am, for good cause. She saved my life last night." The room exploded into whispers and gasps. Steve's face went pale. "What?" Sienna removed her sunglasses slowly, her eyes locked onto his. "I was abandoned on the side of the highway, in the rain, alone, terrified. 37 cars passed me. 37. But she stopped. Her voice stayed calm but deadly. She took me to her home, gave me her blanket, her food, her warmth. Didn't ask who I was, didn't ask for anything. Just helped. The cook's spatula clattered to the floor. A customer started recording on her phone. Sienna stepped closer. "And you fired her for being late because she saved me," Steve stammered, face red. "I didn't know. She didn't tell me." "Would it have mattered?" Sienna's voice was ice. "Would you have cared if it was someone who wasn't famous?"
Steve opened his mouth, closed it. No words came. "Call her," Sienna said. "Right now." "Miss Vale, I'm sure we can discuss." Sienna pulled out her phone. "I can post to 43 million followers in 10 seconds, and every news outlet in this city knows I'm here. So call her, or watch your reputation burn." Steve's hands shook as he grabbed his phone.
15 minutes later, the bell chimed again. Denise stepped through the door, confused, scared, still in her wrinkled uniform. Then she saw Sienna standing in the center of the diner. Recognition flooded her face. Her hand flew to her mouth. Yeah." Sienna's expression softened. She walked forward. "Hi, Denise." Denise's eyes filled with tears. "I had no idea." "I know," Sienna smiled. "That's exactly why this matters." Sienna turned to face the room. "Denise isn't just getting her job back. She's being promoted, assistant manager, effective immediately." Steve's face twisted with rage. "You can't just waltz in here and—" "I just bought this diner." Sienna's assistant stepped forward holding a leather folder. She opened it, revealing signed documents. "Closed the deal 40 minutes ago, so yes, I can." The room erupted in applause. Steve's face went from red to white. "This is insane. I've run this place for 6 years. You can't—" "You're demoted to line staff," Sienna said calmly. "Minimum wage. You report to Denise now." The applause grew louder. Steve slammed his fist on the counter. "I'll sue. I'll call the labor board. You'll what?" Sienna's voice dropped dangerously low. "Tell them you fired someone for saving a life? Go ahead. I'll personally make sure every outlet covers it." Steve's mouth opened and closed like a fish. Then Denise spoke. Her voice was quiet but firm. "You can stay." Everyone turned to her. Steve's eyes narrowed with suspicion. "But," Denise continued, "you'll work the register. You'll clean tables. You'll follow the same rules you made everyone else follow. And if you ever humiliate someone again, you're gone." The room went silent. Sienna smiled. "That's why she's perfect for this." Steve stood frozen, humiliated, every ounce of power stripped away in front of the same people he'd terrorized for years. But 3 days later, the real test came. Denise arrived early to find the register $300 short. She counted twice, 3 times. Her stomach dropped. She checked the security footage from her new manager access, and there it was, Steve, after closing, opening Denise's register, pulling cash, replacing her count sheet with a fake one. The camera caught everything, including his whispered words. "Let's see you explain this one." Denise's hands shook as she watched, but her mind stayed clear. The next morning she called a staff meeting. Steve walked in confident, smirking. Denise placed a laptop on the counter. "We have a problem." She hit play. The footage rolled. Steve's face on screen, his hand in the register, the money, the fake sheet, his whispered threat. The color drained from his face. "That's edited," he shouted. "She's framing me." Denise stayed calm. "The footage is time-stamped, verified by the security company, and backed up to the cloud." 2 police officers stepped through the door. Steve's eyes went wide. No, this is—" The handcuffs clicked. He shouted curses as they let him out, but no one looked up. No one defended him. The door closed. The bell chimed one last time. Silence. Then the cook started clapping. Slowly at first, then the whole staff joined. Denise exhaled. She'd stood her ground, protected herself, and proven that kindness doesn't mean weakness. Sienna called her that night. I heard. I'm proud of you." "I learned from the best," Denise said softly. 6 months later. The diner had transformed. New sign above the door, rainy night cafe, warm lights glowing against the evening sky, every booth filled with laughter and conversation. Inside, Denise moved through the room with quiet confidence. She knew every regular's name, every order, every story. The staff worked like family. No fear, no tension, just respect. Sienna visited every Thursday, same booth, same order. But tonight was different. She slid an envelope across the table as Denise sat down. "What's this?" Partnership papers. You own half now. Denise's breath caught. I can't accept. You already did. Sienna smiled. When you stopped on that highway, you invested in me. This is me investing back. Denise's eyes filled. Why? Because you didn't stop for Sienna Vale, the superstar. Sienna's voice was soft but firm. You stopped for a scared woman in the rain. You saw a person, not a brand, not a headline. A person. She paused. That's rare. That's valuable. That's what this place should be built on. Denise took the envelope with trembling hands. I don't know what to say. Say you'll keep being exactly who you are. They hugged. The cafe applauded. That night, as the last customers left, Denise stood at the window. Rain started falling again, soft and gentle. Across the street, a man struggled with a broken umbrella, grocery bags soaking through. Denise grabbed her coat. The young waitress looked up. Where are you going? Denise smiled. Someone needs help. She stepped into the rain. The bell chimed above her. The man looked up, surprised as she approached. Need a hand? She asked. He hesitated, then nodded gratefully. Inside the cafe, through the window, Sienna watched and smiled. The neon sign reflected in the puddles. Warm, steady, glowing. Some people spend their whole lives searching for purpose. Denise had found hers on a rainy highway, and she'd never stop living it. The rain fell softly. The lights stayed on. And somewhere in the city, someone else was about to be seen.